Sin City. Saturday night. Fight night. Any given weekend, this place is the entertainment capital of the world. When combat sports shines brightest on the Las Vegas Strip. Boxing and mixed martial arts need some new voices. And Franchise Sports Media got them for you. Join Kalani Lua and Griff and Kemp each week as they bring you news and hot takes from inside the octagon and the ring. Get your popcorn ready. It's showtime. FSM's main event starts right now.
What's going on, fight fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of the main event right here on Franchise Sports Media. I'm Kalani Lua.
I'm Griff and Kemp.
We are joined by one of the many great minds out here in Las Vegas in the world of boxing, Big Antt.
Yes, sir.
What is going on, my brother? How you doing today?
Man, good day. Had to be here. Happy to be here.
Happy to have you, my man.
Appreciate you guys.
Let's get right into it. We appreciate you and the knowledge you about to drop on us.
Okay.
The most recent fight we just had, a big super middleweight throwdown. David Benavidez comes out victorious against Caleb Plant. What were your thoughts on the matchup?
We watched that together.
We did.
Yeah, we watched.
Did. That was fun.
Good fight. I kind of predicted Caleb Tank is not the best, and after out of the first 5 rounds, he won 4 of them, and he looked great. But once Benavidez he's a lot to deal with. Big dude. He's a legit 6'2", 6'3", legit. At 168, that's crazy.
It's insane, his height and length at that particular division. Kind of let you know that once he's done with whatever other bouts he's got going forward, at some point he's going to be moving up. I don't know how far he wants to go, but he's got the talent and the age behind him to go pretty far. You think he ever might try to heavyweight?
No.
That's a big jump, man.
Yeah. Everybody, hey, you seen what happened to Canelo when he went up too far?
This is true. Canelo's also short, but we'll get into that in just a little bit.
Yeah, because now that guy's a legit big boy. But, you know, you was hyped at the beginning. You thought you was pulling for Caleb?
Straight up. I like what I was seeing from him.
I just knew the tank was going to run out of here. He was going to run out of gas.
Was he going for Plant the whole time? Or who was he rooting for when there's a fight?
I think so.
I went where the money was, so I bet on the underdog.
It's the most money.
Okay. It's the most money.
Okay,
all right.
I like the matchup, as we talked about on the show. I like the matchup. I definitely thought both fighters were at the top of their game. Like, hey, look, Caleb's looked good since he's fought Canelo. Benavidez has been on a tear. I'm very interested to see who can enforce their will. What I was impressed by, the way Benavidez was able to stay and cutting off the ring. Plant got out early, but he kept cutting off the ring. It was a bigger ring, but he kept cutting it off to where at some point, past the 6th round, Caleb was like, okay, where the hell do I go? This guy's right here in front of me. I was very impressed with that and the fact that Benavidez made adjustments throughout the fight. You brought up the gas tank of Caleb Plant.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's because of Benavidez just had too much power for him, or is that just something that has always plagued Caleb Plant?
That's one of his downfalls. I've noticed that in a few of his fights. And his first title fight against Jose, 8th round, the tank start to drop. And it doesn't just drop a little, it drops. From the 5th round to the 6th round is a big difference, as you've seen. But so that's always worried. And I know with this guy, you got to fight for all 12, these championship rounds.
No, very much so.
And it suffered in hell of a fight.
It was
overall, it was a good
hell
fight.
of a fight. What do you think?
It was a good fight. I mean, I'm going to be the first to tell you, I'm not the biggest boxing fan. I started off in combat sports and MMA, right?
I got you.
And then it was just recently that I actually started really watching boxing. And I started with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder.
You started with a good one.
I started with a good one. I was watching.
Which one?
Exactly. The first one. One when it was a draw.
Okay,
it was a draw.
Yeah.
He saw a classic.
Yeah.
The thing was, though, when I was watching that series between those two, you had Tyson Fury, who's more of that technical boxer, who's really about it. He's really just tight with everything. And then you had Deontay Wilder, who's just the power. He's got dynamite on his hands, right? And so, but that fight showed Tyson was able to beat him because he's just more technical. He was able to find the weaknesses and get in there, and Deontay couldn't do anything, it was crazy now watching Plant versus Benavidez, because you have Plant, the more technical fighter, against the power guy in Benavidez. Plant came out trying to like do everything he could, taking the rules in his advantage, clinching up, trying to make sure Benavidez could not use that power. Exactly, using that ref, exactly. But that just shows like Benavidez' power was just too much. Even when he was clinching up, it was like what, 5th or 6th round, Benavidez was like, all right, you're gonna keep clinching. I can still hurt you here. I'm gonna still get those nasty hooks in your face, and you're gonna have to take it. So I mean, like, is it more of a Plant just didn't have a good game plan going in, or Benavidez? It was just Plant was doomed from the start.
Benavidez was just too much. I mean, you play D-line, I play D-line. You know, sometimes you get an offensive lineman just holding you, and the ref just ain't saying nothing.
They're able to use the rules.
And he literally said, "Okay, you ain't gonna say nothing." He fought through it all. I mean, he was giving him punches. I thought he stunned him a couple times in a clinch. Like the kid, but the kid is only 23 years old. He may be 26. He's somewhere
I think he's
around
at 26.
Yeah, he's very young. He's the first youngest world champion ever. Lost his belt twice and
outside, you know,
issues. Issues. But the kid is a problem, and I think we haven't seen him peak yet.
Really?
That's what's scary.
Ooh.
He has the power, but he also has boxing skills, and he shows a little defense. I told people if Caleb Plant doesn't beat him, he goes on a run, and that includes Canelo.
I was just about to lead into that because I was going to say, considering this might have been his overall from start to finish Benavidez's best performance without having to finish him. Again, as you guys talked about, he made the adjustments along the way. He said, okay, ref, you're not going to do anything, I'm going to figure it out. He stayed with his game plan. He showed his power. He showed, obviously, his cardio. Do you think that Benavidez putting this together, like you just said, he's going to run? You said that includes Canelo.
Includes knocking off Canelo.
Wow.
Too big, too strong.
Got you.
6'3" versus 5'7".
You know, Canelo took out Sergey Kovalev, right?
Yeah, but this ain't Sergey Kovalev.
This is true. This
is
true.
peak.
It sounds like you're saying Canelo's going to be the underdog if these two meet in the ring. Is that what you're saying?
The bookies and the casinos will go with Canelo. But yeah, on my stage, I'll definitely put Canelo as underdog.
Would you put that fight out here, or would you look maybe for a bigger venue someplace else? Considering these are both two Hispanic stars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You with the Hispanic thing, it has to be on the West Coast, LA or Vegas.
Yes.
True.
T-Mobile or Staples Center or Crypto
Arena now.
So
Crypto.
I don't think we got a boxing event big enough to take on the Legion. Boxing just, I don't think the closest thing we had was Pacquiao Mayweather, and the Legion wasn't up yet.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting had it been up.
Yeah.
If they would have chose the.
Oh yeah, you got to.
Oh yeah.
If they would have said, we're going over there.
And that
made more sense with the ticket prices they were asking for.
And it was the biggest letdown ever.
Biggest letdown ever. Fool me once.
Yeah.
Fool me 47 times? Nope, not again. Not again. But nonetheless, Benavidez coming out. If Canelo's not his next opponent, who do you see Benavidez going for? And then transition. What's next for Caleb?
Caleb. Let's do Caleb. This would be tougher.
Got you.
Caleb. At this point, he has to go through hell to get back to the top.
It's gonna be a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. Bubu Andrade's over there. Charlo. It's gonna be David Morrell. All these guys gonna be tough. I don't think Caleb gets back to the top anymore.
Oh, really? Okay.
If you can survive the front part of the fight with Caleb, you can drown him when it's deep.
Interesting. There's a certain heavyweight from the 80s and 90s who everyone loves. I felt was the same way. You got to survive that first wave, but if you get past them, and you potentially live.
Talking about with the asthma guy?
I'm not.
Asthma.
All due respect.
Yikes.
I'm not going to say it. I'm just saying.
Hey, he said it himself.
I mean, that is true. But he was the same way.
Yeah.
And as you just said, there's a murderer's row. I mean, it is a meat grinder to get back to the top. So for Benavidez, let's say for whatever reason, Canelo wants Bivol, take some time off. What do you do if you're Benavidez? Do you wait, or do you look for someone else to take out?
So Steven Espinoza, which is Showtime's president, and there's a guy named Al Heyman. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Yeah, I've heard his name once or twice.
Al Heyman likes to maximize profit. He has a 3-fight deal with Benavidez. So with that, if I have you fight if two of my guys fight each other, I make money. Yeah. 2 more guys fight each other, I make money. 2 more, I make money. So you already gave me 1. You give me 2 more, then we could talk about splitting my money with somebody else. That's how Al Heyman works.
Yeah, and that's not a bad business.
It's not, man.
1.5.
So, but yeah, they talking about Dave Morrell next for him, Charlo. I think those guys do nothing with Benavidez.
Not even Charlo.
Nah. Charlo's been too inactive.
Yeah, it is true. It is unfortunate to see how he and his brother at one point they were going to take over the sport, and now it just seems
the little brother is a man child.
He is.
And I think if Caleb loses weight and goes down there and meets him at 160, great fight. Caleb gets knocked out, but great fight.
Wow. That would be interesting.
Caleb will give him hell.
Oh, heck yeah.
He will give him hell.
Yeah, he would.
But that's a good fight.
It would be a tremendous fight to see. And like you said, at 160, it'll definitely be a clash of two styles that I think would be a lot of fun to go ahead and see.
I mean, I'm sorry. I got to ask Antt this, man. We got the sport of boxing and what you just said, promoters trying to make their buck. This is what the problem, my biggest issue with boxing is. I mean, after Benavidez beat Caleb Plant, you see him gets on the mic and he's like, there is no other option. It's got to be me and Canelo. You got to book the fight. And it seems like boxing's starting to make that turn where they're like, all right, you know what? Maybe we start giving the fans a bone. Throw them a bone. Let's get Tank and Ryan Garcia going. Let's get Benavidez and Plant. I mean, should there be a wait for Benavidez to see Canelo? I mean, Canelo's the top dog. He's going to be able to decide what he wants to do. But Benavidez and him in the ring is the next big super fight.
Man, you say that. Should it be a wait? No. Will it be a wait? Yes.
That's the problem, man.
This is the BS of boxing. And coming from a diehard boxing fan, this is why you got UFC. Only thing I like about UFC is they don't pay the guys right. That's what
Right.
No way. Like, guys, you probably don't know Sean Porter should be making more than who's the heavyweight champ.
Right now it's John Jones.
Yeah,
who?
Yeah. Well, John Jones making money.
He's making
John Jones making money now.
But, Steve Miocic.
There's no way Sean Porter should be making $2 million. This guy's making $500. Yeah, there's no way.
With a $50K bonus.
Yeah.
It's like,
there's no way.
But then where do you find a medium ground? I mean, the UFC, they are doing it right with the way they structure the company, but the fighters aren't getting paid. Boxing, fighters getting paid. The top dogs are getting paid, but the structure's making it so the fans are missing out on these big fights. So it's like, where do you give ground to make sure that everyone's happy and the sport is thriving?
And I was told a couple guys, the problem is it's sides of the streets. You got the big boss, which is Al Heyman, the other big boss, Bob Arum. Got the other big boss, Eddie Hearn. Then he's trying to make his way back in, Mr. with the afro.
Oh, Darren King.
Yeah,
only
but
in America.
He only got one guy, but and then everybody doesn't want to do business. Everybody's competing. It's just like if we come together, this sport will be bigger.
Yes.
Instead of dividing and trying to conquer.
Exactly. Yeah.
No one's going to the top.
Right.
UFC just keeps going, doing this. Boxing, big fight. Big fight.
And that's the thing with the UFC. The guys, they're all talking about how the big name fighters in UFC, if they would just take a pay cut or if they would do what was necessary to make sure everyone was getting a piece of the pie, everyone would be happier and everyone would be making some money. But you see guys like Francis Ngannou, he just recently left the UFC over pay and over different problems with contract negotiations. I mean, even Jose Aldo came out and said Francis messed up. That was a mistake on his part. And a lot of people see it that way. But for me, give him some credit. He at least stood his ground against Dana White and the big bosses. He's saying, no, I want to be paid a certain way. I am a name that you guys bank on. Yeah. I should have some kind of rights. I should be able to market myself and make enough money to where I'm in this damaging sport that's taken possibly years off my life. I better have a bag to prove it or bag to show for it.
And because, just playing sports, it got to a point where you were like, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not playing no more.
Man, I know that's how I felt.
Bro. I literally got to that point where I'm like, if I'm not getting paid, I'm not playing no more.
Especially when everyone else is getting paid. She's like, wait a minute. It's one thing when we all weren't getting paid. Yeah. That's different. But if we start getting to a certain level and everyone's getting a piece of pie, why am I not getting a piece? Or why am I just getting crumbs? Nah, bump that, G.
And
bump that.
Yep. I think Francis, name of UFC, one of the names. He wasn't making the money that John Jones got when he came back. Like John Jones came back and got a bag, right?
Yeah, John Jones signed a deal, and I think when he got into the ring to fight Cyril Gane for the heavyweight title, I think he was officially the highest paid heavyweight in UFC history. I think that's what I heard. And so, but then again, it's John Jones.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's John.
This is like talking about Mayweather.
No, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
And see, Francis also knew that if it's me and Jones, this is going to be the biggest fight in heavyweight history in UFC. Wherever they put it at, this is going to be the biggest one. My side don't necessarily have to equal his, but I shouldn't be such a big gap. Yeah, it's John Jones. We know the history he has as being a dominant champion, as I've said before. But for Francis, it's like, okay, I should be paying especially the way y'all promote me. being the hardest hitter, one of the most feared strikers out there. So it is something hopefully the UFC and just MMA in general does figure out. It is something that boxing definitely has over is the pay structure. Yeah. Unfortunately, like you said, nobody wants to work with each other. So we're always these big gaps between big fights. But 2023 seems to be the year.
Yeah,
it might be coming
they're
together.
going back to back to back to back.
To back to back because we got Benavidez playing.
Yep.
We got Vasily Lomachenko.
Yep.
Devin Haney, that got agreed to. We thought we had Tyson Fury and Oleg Kulisek against each other. We'll see if that comes back around. But we got a big one coming up at the end of the month.
Sir.
Right here in Las Vegas. Gervonte Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, and they announced this. What were your thoughts that went to your mind on this matchup when it was made official?
About damn time.
About damn time.
Yeah, that was my first thoughts. Thought number 2 is I don't have no tickets. I can't imagine other people. I've got 20 requests. I keep counting them.
Yeah.
Like literally people call my phone. I was like, yeah, they bought the extra tickets.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, ringside tickets are going for 20, 30K.
Ooh,
if I had the tickets, I'll flip them. Okay,
you hear from people you ain't heard from since high school.
Yeah, awesome. Tickets to a fight.
Remember we had history class together.
Yeah.
Remember I helped you on that chemistry exam?
Yeah, it's crazy to request. You guys know when you got something somebody want. No, yeah. But yeah, this is the big fight, man. You got Ryan Garcia, undefeated. Tank, undefeated. You got the speed versus the power. Champ. And what's crazy is it's one of them fights where belts don't matter.
No, that's what I was saying.
No,
that's what I love about it.
It doesn't.
Because I don't know if you guys ever know. You've been friends with Sean. Do you know they charge you like $200,000 a fight?
Charge
each belt you got.
What?
Yep.
No.
So when you fight for a belt, you have to pay a percentage of your purse.
What the?
To who? Who's getting this check?
The owner, the WBC owner, the WBA. So that's why you see why you see boxing got the world title, the silver. That's why they want a piece of the.
Come on, man.
So one of Teddy Atlas said the WBC stands for We Be Collected.
Yeah.
What?
So that's why. Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yep. When Sean told me that, I'm like, you got to pay what? It was like $200,000.
Look, I know it looks good for the photo when you stand there with all the belts.
Yeah.
200,000. Now I'll keep them. I'll just keep the one.
But did you ever notice Floyd only had the green ones?
Only the green ones.
He always gave up the other ones.
Yeah.
Never wanted
I can keep them. I only want.
And he had an agreement worked with WBC. I'll pay you a percentage. I'll give you this. That's it.
Wow. Never. In all the years I've been following boxing, I've never ever known that.
That's the biggest BS of boxing. When I learned that, I was like,
God, man.
Oh God!
It cheapens like a championship, man.
Yeah.
If you are the super middleweight, the heavyweight, the lightweight champion, you should not be paying for that strap around your waist. That you pay in the ring, you pay with your blood, you pay with that.
Man.
You're paying money to hold the belts.
In a way, you guys should be paying me because I'm kind of promoting
Exactly.
as the champion. I'm the face of your division. I'm the face of this belt. You guys should be kicking me something over here.
Yeah. And I could see maybe 10, 20 grand at the most.
Something like that.
Yeah, hundreds.
And see, that's one of my issues with boxing as well. They have so many belts. Like, you win this title, but now you got to fight this other super middleweight champion for his belt. It's like, wait a minute, I just won the title. Why do I got to fight 5 other guys for the title? Like Tyson Fury, I got to go fight Deontay Wilder, then I got to fight this guy, then I got to fight Usyk to be the ultimate heavyweight champion. Like, oh, wait a minute, why is there so many belts?
Yep.
And that's, to me, that's what kind of waters down boxing a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not only the long waits between big fights, but so many belts. UFC, they're trying to get more weight classes, but Dana's like, no, that'll cheapen it down like boxing. No, not weight classes, belts. But as you said, the belts do not matter when it comes to Davis and Garcia. One of the hardest hitters in all of boxing, Gervonte Davis. One of the fastest punchers in Ryan Garcia. Everyone, they're on their side. Davis too small. Every time he's been tested, even though he's won,
let me get the exact size.
Guys have been shown to be able to lay it off on him. Garcia, the pretty boy, the big smile, the social media darling. Is he really a fighter? Can he really go out there? And he's been dropped before. What do you think of this particular matchup and how it goes down?
Man, I'm real close to Ryan Garcia. Guy texts me, just give me spiritual quotes. He's a solid dude, man.
Yeah, he seems like
he's a solid dude.
He seems like a legit good person.
Yeah. Ever since we met, it just been click. But man, you got 5'10" Ryan Garcia versus 5'5" Tank. Anybody else, you say, oh, well, I'm going with the big guy.
Yeah.
But this dude, they call him Tank for a reason.
A reason.
A reason. And I just think, man, this fight, He's gonna have to be smart. This is probably the most dangerous fighter he ever faced. This is Ryan Garcia is nothing to mess with. He's explosive. He's fast. I've known Tank to take some to give one.
Yes.
And that one he's gonna give will sleep you. Leo Santa Cruz. He took 3. He took 3 to give one, and that was lights out. But I know him to take some to give one. This not the fight you need to be taking some.
No, not at all.
This one, man, and you got Ryan Garcia, explosive, good, been down before.
Yep.
Defense not the greatest. That's his weakness.
Yep.
Defense cannot be not the greatest versus this guy. If he touch your chin, it could be. Let's lights out.
Very much so.
That's what I'm kind of thinking when I'm looking at this matchup. It's so hard to make a prediction of what's really going to happen, who's going to come out on top. But when I look at both guys' style, Tank, he's got that power, but he's also going to technically break you down throughout the fight. In the early rounds, he's going to start hitting the body until you start dropping the hands, and he's going to come for the head and for those knockout shots. That's not going to pair well with Garcia, where his defense isn't quite there. He's not that defensive savvy guy.
Yep.
So if you're going to go against a guy who's that technically sound, who's got the power, who's going to try and break you down throughout the fight, you want to be more defensive. You want to be able to avoid the shots, know when to move, know where to block. And it's just, when I think about that, I almost want to give it to Tank just off that alone.
Yeah, and I think with Ryan, I think he believes in his speed so much that he's like, I can get out of there if it gets too hot.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not the fight where you need to be thinking that you can just get in and out of there. I mean, he has a great coach, world Hall of Famer Joe Goosen, Goosen family. He has a great coach. He's gonna be ready to go. Man, his left hook is something that's vicious. Obviously, Tank can't take too many of those because he could go to sleep too.
He could.
The problem is when he throw that, he loves to work the body. When you throw the body, you leave his top
wide open. Yeah.
And Tank's crazy enough to take that shot to knock you out.
Come over, yeah. Man.
It's just
what lands first.
I mean, you would say the reach.
You would say the reach, but there's gonna be one of those where if Tank gets his timing down, like he did with Santa Cruz, okay, this is what he's doing, bam! And like you said, he's got the power to knock it out. When I see this matchup, 2 old matchups come to mind. Oscar De La Hoya versus Felix Trinidad.
Okay.
Boxer versus the puncher.
Yes.
Go a little bit further back. Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler.
Yeah.
Hagler a little bit shorter, ball of muscle. Again, wants to get inside and beat you up. Robinson staying on the outside. Leonard staying on the outside, using his speed. I will be interested to see who can enforce their will early and often in this particular one. Can Davis kind of do what Benavidez did? Cut the ring off, get him up against the ropes and corner, maybe even go to the body himself to slow down the speed of Garcia. But then Garcia can keep him on the outside. Jab, 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 maybe go to the body a little bit. And when Plant took on Anthony Durrell, you saw early on before the knockout, he was looking for that left hook, just missing it. Like you said, will Garcia be trying to set that up throughout and see, okay, how am I going to get him? How am I going to set it up? Tank's known to be willing to take that shot. Will he want to test himself and say, I can take your best shot and still stand? I don't know, but this is an exciting matchup between 2 young stars, and the fact that they're young. I hope it's one of those matchups like Leonard versus Hearns. We see it 2, 3, 4 times in their careers. They're young enough to do it. Why not?
And I think we get a classic out of this. I mean, I also said when Tank is so dangerous, when he gets inside on you, like Ryan, like Caleb did. Tie his ass up. Tie his little ass up. When you feel like he's too close, grab him. Do whatever you got to do. But I feel this could be a classic. This is a Porter Spence. The Wilder Furies. This could go down as one of those special fights, man. Well, I mean, Ryan's my guy, but 10th, 11th round, I got Ryan getting sleepy. I got Ryan getting sleepy.
Taking on a power puncher, you got to figure those punches burn you as the rounds go on. So it's going to be hard. And like you said, maybe with Plant, if his cardio can't sustain that with his lack of defense as it goes on, oh boy, it's going to be interesting.
What I like to see Ryan do is work every round. Work. Because Tank hasn't been known to slow down when it gets late. He still carries power late.
Yeah, very much so.
But make him work every round. Work, and then see what you could do. But man, this is going to be a great fight.
It really is going to be a great fight. Real quick, I want to ask you this strategy. So, if they tie up, right?
Yes.
I remember this when Lennox Lewis took on Mike Tyson. If I'm Garcia, every time you tie up, walk Tank backwards. walk him back,
Waste of
and
energy.
push him off.
Waste of energy.
Yeah.
Not only a waste of energy, but now you're bullying the bully. Psychology, you're putting it in his mind, get up off me. I'm right here ready to take you on. We've seen that with other guys. Wilder still had power in the 12th round, but we saw that when Fury went back down from him, Wilder looked like, hey man, I'm hitting with everything I got. He ain't going away. Tyson and Lewis, we've seen it before, so if Garcia maybe is willing to bite down his mouthpiece and apply that bully tactic, he might be able to break Tank down. But boy, I tell you, I don't know if I want to take that chance of taking his power.
You said that about the clinch, and Terrence Crawford told me, he said, you know, when I was fighting Sean, I'm like, he's going to be strong, he's going to be powerful. We tied up, and I was able to control him. I said, oh, it's over. It's over.
It's done.
He said, it literally put something else in my mind, like, I can knock this guy out.
Yeah.
It's like, it changed everything. Once we clinched, and I didn't realize he was strong as he thought he was, and I was able to control him. So that's a good thing, what you said. That like literally changes the whole fight. Because if you literally clinch with somebody and they're controlling you, like,
Oh yeah.
Hold on, buddy. Oh, you got as strong as they said you was. You pulling that Muhammad Ali stuff. You don't hit as hard as they said, George. You don't hit as hard as they said, George. So, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that tactic may or may not be used.
There's just something about it. Like you say, back in the day playing football, when you go against an offensive lineman and you go against that first run block and you're going physical with them and you realize, oh, you're not as strong, or okay, this is where I level up. You just get that level of confidence. You're like, oh, you little. You're not made for this. Exactly. And you know what? Big Ant's man enough to come on this show and give his prediction for the fight. I think it's only fair we both do it too, brother.
Let's do it.
All right, you go ahead, man. What you got? What you got?
You go first.
All right, I'll go first. I got you. I'm a betting man. You know,
okay.
I always go the underdog. I always go the 8-leg parlays. Do I always win them? No, but you always get that one lucky one, and I'm gonna use it right here.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Tank, he's going to be looking real aggressive in the beginning.
Okay.
He's going to look like Tank's got this in the bag. Ryan's going to look like he's a little bit, out of his reach. He's biting off too much than he could chew. But then somewhere in the 8th to 9th round, I can just see what you were saying earlier. Garcia just gets that clean inside hook speed right when Tank's going for the body. And that one punch, it just stains the whole career of Tank. Not stains it, but it's always there because it's going to be the one that sleeps him and gives Ryan Garcia that win in the fight. Right here. Right here on FSM, the main event, baby. I'm calling it.
I love it.
Ryan Garcia's going to sleep Tank Davis.
Give me that follow on Instagram,
possible.
Ryan. I got you, baby. I got you, baby.
It's possible he could get slept.
I got
It's definitely possible.
Oh, man. And who'd you go for, Antt?
I got Tank. I got Tank with a late stoppage.
Got
11 round stoppage.
Okay.
I can see that knockout too.
I can definitely see it, especially if Tank kind of wears down later on. Yeah. He still has the power, but if the speed is there and Garcia's still light on his toes, man, he definitely can catch him. But Tank Davis is going to come out with the
Okay.
Look, for obvious reasons, I'm going to Tank. Hold on, man. First off, don't judge me. Don't judge me because guess what? Half that arena was going for Benavidez because of obvious reasons. I'm doing the same thing. Tank Davis taking out Ryan Garcia.
How many rounds?
11.
Oh, you on 11?
Okay.
We're on the same round.
I'm on 11 rounds.
I like my man prediction too.
I would say 8.
Yeah, I love
that. Even though he's wrong, I love it.
Yeah.
Real quick, and before we let you get up out of here, this past weekend we had Roy Jones Jr., the great Roy Jones Jr. He lost a unanimous decision or majority decision to Anthony Showtime Pettis, former UFC champion. Yeah. We're starting to see a lot of MMA guys. Obviously, we talking about, for instance, the guy earlier, Conor McGregor kind of started it, Anderson Silva. A lot of MMA guys stepping into the world of boxing. YouTubers are stepping in there. Just as a boxing fan yourself, not so much being on the other side with MMA, what are your thoughts of seeing these guys trying their hand at your sport of love?
Hey, I have no problem. We need it. My man talked about it. Yeah. Boxing needs every face they can get. At first, I wasn't really liking the Jake Paul thing because I felt like he was disrespecting the sport. Then I had to look at it with different eyes. This is not boxers. Yeah. This is a celebrity boxer that has skills.
He does.
But he's not getting in there with no Canelo or Floyd. That's different level. I mean, Floyd now, but that's different.
You never know.
That might be coming up.
You never know with Floyd. But yeah, it's like I don't expect him in there with a Benavidez, Caleb Plant, like world championship fight. But what he giving us, what he's bringing to the sport of boxing, great. And they're coming over there getting paid.
Yeah,
that's the other thing.
That's
they realize, I waited too long to come over here.
Yeah, it's like Anderson Silva retired. It's a great retirement.
Awesome.
$500,000?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah,
So, I mean,
hey.
and look, you're still doing what you love.
Yeah.
You're taking a little less punishment. And look, he doesn't look too bad. His age, he's like, damn, if I came over here 10 years ago, I'd be able to really jack some.
Actually, I felt like he beat Jake Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Even with the
really?
knockdown.
Even with the knockdown.
That's it.
I
You know
mean-
what? And watching it, I could definitely see that. But I can also see, whereas we were talking about earlier with the Davis fight, that him slowing down and not being aggressive at times kind of led wrestlers to say, well, I can't give you points just for
Yeah.
dodging and whatnot. So
I mean, that's the thing, though. We saw what happened with Jake Paul when he fought a guy who had the title of an official boxer in Little Fury. Little Fury gave him those hands, and he gave him his first loss. And then you see with all these guys, even Conor. I'm the biggest Conor McGregor fan. If you didn't know, just so you know, my boy over there knows for sure. But Conor goes and fights Floyd. He doesn't get the dub. Jake Paul loses to an actual official boxer. I mean, it kind of seems like it just doesn't translate well. These MMA guys and obviously YouTubers, but it doesn't translate well to boxing because they're just not technically sound enough. They're not doing what you need to do to actually win these fights. So it's like, how long is it going to be a draw? How long are we going to wait? Like Francis Ngannou, Deontay Wilder, or Francis Ngannou, Tyson Fury. The two big names, that might be enough. But then after that, how often are people going to want to pay to see an MMA guy go over and lose in a boxing fight?
Yeah, it just, yeah, exactly.
How long? It's just like, it doesn't seem like it's a model that's made to sustain and be able to go for a long period of time.
And did you guys? Some inside info. You know the Mayweather McGregor, right?
Yeah.
We thought we was getting another one, right?
we thought
We
so.
thought,
There was
we
always
thought,
rumors
yeah.
that there might be a sequel.
You notice how the guys, both of them, they want the fight, right? They
Yeah.
want. You notice how word on the street is they both made $100 million.
They made it
That's
back.
what the word was on the street. They said, oh, they
I know
got
Conor
$100
made it.
Word on the street. So if you're a promoter, you gotta think if they made $100 million as a promoter, and I did the event, what I made half a billion.
Yeah.
I'm paying you $100 million.
Yeah, yeah.
If
of
I'm
course.
paying you 200 each,
But-
I'll tell you, I made $500 million.
But do you notice how the promoter's not begging for that to come back? Because they didn't make that much money.
Really?
That event didn't do the numbers it said it did.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's because, you said some insider stuff, so I won't. Is it that, or is it that they know it's going to be hard to sell it again? It's going to be hard to sell it again because McGregor, when he stepped back into the world of MMA, he had some losses. It happens, but he lost a little bit of his fire. When they fought Floyd, he comes off smoking Jose Aldo for the title, smoking Andy Alvarez for the title, knocking them out, 2 titles at once. It's like, hey, he's the hottest he's ever been right now. Just headline Madison Square Garden. We can make this. Now he hasn't won a fight in 4 years. He's been away from the sport, obviously. He's still a big draw, but it's hard to sell it. Given Floyd's age, and he's fighting guys in empty arenas overseas, and now Conor hasn't win, it doesn't have the same power that it once did. Do you think that's also another reason?
If you go work and you don't get paid, would you go to work tomorrow?
Absolutely not. No.
If those guys are in the red, why are we gonna run it back? We're in the red from the first time. For the first time we did this. Yeah, y'all made some money, but we ain't make no money. So it's just one of those. Those guys are businessmen. You gotta think. People always talk about how rich Floyd is. Somebody signs Floyd checks.
Somebody does.
That is true.
Yeah, believe it. Much as he makes it seem like he signs his own checks, he doesn't.
I'm sure Dana White's not too thrilled to keep giving up his guys on his roster unless he's getting a big chunk of it. No promoter in boxing. Exactly. No promoter in boxing is going to work with Dana because Dana's going to want the bigger portion. It's his guy. You know, again, the little politics, the little crazy stuff in the background that hurts the fights that people may or may not want to see.
Like Chris Rock said, Shaq is rich. The man that signs his check is
He's
wealth.
rich. Yeah.
But with all that said, I do want to see Tyson Fury versus Francis.
Oh, I want to see that.
Okay.
I want to see Tyson. I want to see Ngannou taking on Wilder.
That's the one I want to
Right
see.
now-
Somebody going to sleep.
Someone's
Exactly.
sleeping.
Somebody going.
Oh my
You
god.
Fury's too much for him?
What's that?
Fury's too much for Francis?
Fury is just too. Again, it would be just like him fighting Deontay Wilder, except
him to school.
way less talent, like way less boxing.
He can
you know?
laugh.
Exactly. Yes.
And they're saying, what's this guy doing?
So I see the Wilder
I
thing.
He be
think Wilder
clowning
or even
Francis.
Joshua. The way I think Wilder or Joshua. Joshua's chin is very suspect. Confidence is what
Wilder
it
and
was.
Francis? Are you Joshua and Francis?
No. Ngannou versus Joshua. Anthony Joshua.
I might give
Or
Johnny
Deontay
that.
Wilder. I want to see Wilder and Joshua. That's the fight that's been 27 years in the making. But I want if Ngannou was to pick a known heavyweight for his first bout, Wilder or Joshua, I think is the better matchup for him to go.
He can probably get Joshua. Joshua's
That's what
mental-
I was thinking too. I'm thinking I might give it to Francis on that one.
Both of those matchups, while from an experience and technical standpoint, they're head and shoulders above him.
Yeah.
heavyweight division, I just gotta be able to knock you out. I don't need to be as technical. Tyson's too technical, but those two guys with their chins, especially Joshua's, I might be able to catch him.
Yeah, Joshua, he's suspect.
You know what? Francis is a smart businessman. He's seeing it like this. I'm gonna go from the bottom of the pyramid and go up. I'm gonna get my payday by taking on let's say Joshua's the easier fight for him. I'm gonna go Joshua. Maybe I get a win. If he gets a win, that could either be a rematch or then he can go, all right, next, I want Deontay Wilder. The other guy, he's more powerful, but he's not as technically sound. So I'm gonna go get him. That's a payday. And you never know with these fights.
Flip that, and all of a sudden now you're the big dog in the heavyweight division.
Now you're running the heavyweight.
Jake Paul. Jake Paul beat some nobodies, but it was in a boxing ring.
Yeah.
Francis the guy was
he did it in highlight real fast.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
outside of Anderson Silva, he was putting guys to sleep.
Like he ain't had to do Nate like that.
Bro,
Nate's still down.
I don't think Nate's dribbled the ball since then. Like, man, I ain't got it. Look,
I ain't heard her since then, bro.
hey, look, he doesn't even know what happened yet.
Yeah.
He's still asking questions.
He's still sleeping.
Look, on that note, Big Ant, man, thank you so much
problem.
for coming
Yes, sir,
in.
man.
This
Thank
has
you.
been
Thank you guys for having me.
Griff, as always, man. And thank you guys for tuning in to another edition in the main event right here on Franchise Sports Media. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, fight fans.
Peace.
Okay.